Hello, everybody. Tate Davis here with another album battle for you, even though I don't have the physical releases to show you. This is actually going to be an interesting one. What I decided to do with this one is to do two live albums. One that I hold really dear to my heart, and one that was just released by a band some of my friends are in from MTSU, a band called the Low Blow down here in Murfreesboro. Really, really, really good band. And if you haven't checked them out, then you should go see. So, in the ring today is going to be Blue Oyster Cult from 1978, Some Enchanted Evening. And then the Low Blow, Capsize, Live at Ride Hour from 2020. I'm going to examine the track listing of both releases and then decide which one I would rather take with me on a desert island, because that's what this is about, and there's no right or wrong here. This is just an excuse to talk about two great albums and why they mean so much to us. So we'll go with the one that was released first, Blue Oyster Cult. So Some Enchanted Evening is the second live album that BOC has put out. It was taken from performances all over the place, Atlanta, some places in New York, and maybe a show in New Jersey or two. So, of course, the personnel, you get Eric Bloom on lead vocals and stun guitar, Buck Dharma on lead guitar, Joe Bouchard on bass, Alan Lanier on keyboards, and the amazing Albert Bouchard on drums. It opens up with a song from the Spectres album, I believe, called Are You Ready to Rock? Yes, I am. And then continuing on with Astronomy. Really, really killer version of Astronomy. Great Buck Dharma guitar solo in that one. Then it continues on with ETI, Extraterrestrial Intelligence. A killer version of ETI, Extraterrestrial Intelligence. I know that was one of the highlights of the Blue Oyster Cult show that I saw back in October, and it was done really well on this album. Originally came off the Agents of Fortune album. Not a very good album, in my opinion, but that's definitely one of the better tracks off the album. And then, this is probably my favorite song on the album, even though it's a cover. The MC5, their version, Blue Oyster Cult's version of the MC5's classic "Kick Out the Jams" is amazing. Great vocals by Eric Bloom on that. Ugh, nice and punchy. Great drumming by Albert Bouchard and great guitar solo by Buck Dharma. And then, obviously, Godzilla, probably one of the best live versions of Godzilla. The one on Extraterrestrial Live may be another contender for that title, but Godzilla kicks ass on there. Another highlight of the show that of the Blue Oyster Cult show I saw back in October. Then the classic "Don't Fear the Reaper," done really well on there, and finishing off with a great cover of The Animals' "We've Got to Get Out of This Place," done really well. So overall, not a long live album, but a very strong live album from the guys from Long Island, Blue Oyster Cult. So moving on to the other end of the ring here, we got the Low Blow. They're friends of mine. They're a great band. I've seen them live about 5 times. I've played a few shows with them in bands that I've been in. Great bunch of guys. Pat Long is an amazing voice. They're on a tour right now to support this live album that dropped last Friday. It's called Capsize, Live at Ride Hour. Of course, recorded at the great rehearsal space in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, called Ride Hour Rehearsal Studios. Of course, you got Pat Long on lead vocals and rhythm guitar. My good boy Connor Stith on lead guitar, Josh Selby on bass, Taylor Wood, the amazing Taylor Wood on drums, and Matthew Williford on keyboards. Basically, it opens up with a song called "Rainbow Connection." Really strong opener. That's the one they've been opening with, I think, for the past couple months. But past couple shows that they've been playing. Uh, Somewhere Off in the Distance, really catchy, funky, tune that makes you just want to get up and dance. Uh, you know, Tattle Track, Capsize, done really well on there. It's not a song they performed too much live, which kind of makes me a little sad because that's my favorite song off their EP. But done really well on there. 2:15 a.m. Stunning version of 2:15 a.m. It's even better than the studio version. Great version of 2:15 a.m. That's a fan favorite among the fan base here in Murfreesboro. Um, Undertow. Yeah, Undertow on that album is great. Really, really great. Rockin' a Hard Place, obviously the most streamed song on all the streaming services. That's a, really, really catchy, soulful, mid-tempo rocker. And then a little segment there where they say goodbye where they thank everybody for coming to the show, and that that's really nice. Pat Long doing his thing there. Great. Pat Long, let me tell you something about Pat Long, okay? He does an amazing job with stage banter. Like, oh my god, cracking all sorts of jokes on stage and self-deprecating. It's just really funny. In a really, really great way at interacting with the crowd in between songs at their shows. And then the live album, but I digress. Live album closes off with actually an unreleased song from a band that I believe Connor and Pat were in before the Low Blow, called Hold On, almost 9 minutes of it. Really, really great, catchy, soulful tune with an R&B flavor to it that sees Pat interacting with the audience in such a great way. And that closes off the live album. So overall, a very, very strong live album from a very, very great local band. And if you have not checked it out, you can just look up Low Blow, Capsize Live at Ridenhour from 2020. And it's really, really great to see up and coming bands in 2020 putting out live albums like this, because that's sort of become an anomaly now, and I'm such a huge fan of live albums, and this was a very, very strong live album for 2020, an era that live albums have seemed to be forgotten in, which is a shame, but it's a step in the right direction. I think the Low Blow are doing really, really well for themselves with this. A great snapshot of the religious experience that is their live performances. So when you put the two back to back, though, this was actually a much harder decision for me than most of you would think, because even though the Low Blow live album just dropped a couple days ago, I've really been getting into it recently, and blasting it everywhere I go when I drive around and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, I often have to go with the band that I have more history with, and by this much, a ninth round KO is Blue Oyster Cult. But that is not to discredit in any way, shape, or form that Low Blow live album, because it's awesome. It is. But for me, Kick Out the Jams, ETI, Godzilla, it's pretty hard to beat. But just because I picked Blue Oyster Cult does not mean that you have to agree with me. And go check out that Low Blow live album. Open up Spotify after you're done with this video. Type in the Low Blow and Capsize Live at Ridenhour should be the first thing that should pop up after latest release. And also go check out that Blue Oyster Cult album, Some Enchanted Evening from 1978 too. But, yeah, So that is my album battle for you today. Please agree or disagree with me in the comments section below. If you've checked out that Low Blow Live album, go, yeah. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.